Hello, Scorpio. Let's see what we've got for you. We're hot off the reading for Libra, which was crazy. Okay, sorry. This robe, it's not my robe, but it's warm and cozy. So I know it looks like a whole lot of fabric here. Let's see what's going on. All right. Well, I didn't even really get to make a move here before somebody wants to make a move and they don't know how to make a move, and here we have making peace. All right, somebody wants to make peace. We got the peace sign. Somebody's got some bling on. Somebody's kind of iced out. All right, watch those little wannabe gangster rappers. Like I said, don't, like never. Don't get me started. I don't want to get started. So making peace. Hmm. The color blue is significant. This is very superhero like, warrior like. Like the bling isn't distracting me from this. It almost feels like somebody's really wearing that piece or wanting you to believe that. After all the drama and side eyes, somebody's ready to drop the aggression. The energy is shifting from war zone to, oh boy, to neutral ground. Yeah, sure, honey. I'm taking off this robe because I see it's going to get hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Okay, so we're going to take off all our clothes. Okay, so, all right, yeah, Scorpio, you know what I'm going to say. So I don't like, let's not have a crazy reading. I just don't want a crazy reading. Libras was enough. Everybody knows that Libras are crazy. Sorry, Libra. Libra. Libras are crazy. I love Libras. I have a Libra sun, but I'm just saying everybody knows that Libra, that reading was crazy because there's something you've got something going on with a Libra. You could be a Libra rising. Maybe you're crazy. I don't know. Don't be crazy, Scorpio, because that's not a good look on you. Okay, so if you've got significant Libra placements, I'm sorry. Libra is inherently unbalanced. Their sign is the scales. Doesn't mean balance. It can mean justice. They seek to be balanced. Somebody's going to get pissed off at me here, but it's true and you freaking know it. Everybody knows this. All right. Let me move this out of the way. I've seen some crazy Libra stuff before where I finally had to realize, okay, Libra really is crazy. And I mean that in the fondest of ways, believe me when I tell you this. So who's trying to make peace? Is a Libra trying to make peace with you? It's probably going to be a Libra. Watch it be a relative. No. 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 Okay, so let's see what happens. We're going to get a few more and then we're going to move right along. But definitely my blood pressure shot up. Yeah, look we've got a typical Libra kind of card, the drama queen. Okay, so don't get pulled into the drama. If peace showed up, they'd start a fight out of boredom. And then we have breaking free. You've already transformed and you've become the butterfly and you are out of here. So don't get pulled into the past, Scorpio, whatever it is. Cycles don't break themselves, but all it takes is one bold move to change the whole trajectory. Trajectories are significant. Oh, lucky stars. Like, oh my gosh, I put them back in there. See, that's how much I don't want to. Oh, that's how much I don't want to get pulled into any drama of any kind. Everybody who knows me, that what I will do is just be gone. Don't want the Libra thing. Okay, Libra's reading was crazy, but these two popped out. I almost said pills. Somebody's on pills. Somebody's doing drugs. Somebody's a pill popping drug user. And I don't know if it's a Libra in your life. I don't know if it's you. It's probably not you because if anything, Scorpio can be more than sober. All right. If Scorpio decides to dive into the bottom of a pickle barrel and get drunk on pickle juice, maybe they're going through something in their life. Okay. So we've got fantasy world and secret affair. See, this is the kind of drama that Libra would like you pulled into, or insert sign here, insert zodiac. It could be a fucus if you like. Throw somebody in there. All right. So secret affair, they thought they could hide it, but whispers are growing louder. Affairs rarely stay hidden forever. I'm just not going to say anything else because I'm getting such a strong Libra here. Could be an air sign, could be Gemini or Aquarius, but I'm not seeing any cards here yet. So, just channeled message. It isn't for everybody. You don't have to like it. They don't have to like it. If they don't like it, what? A Libra's never going to like it if it isn't something that they came up with. Fantasy world. Somebody's head is in the cloud. We've got heart chasing fairy tales. The truth is getting lost in all the sparkle. What I tell you, this is like totally screaming Libra. I'm not saying that this guy's a Libra. Maybe this person's involved with the Libra. Maybe you are the Libra. Maybe you are this guy and you were involved with the Libra and you finally realize that that is just too crazy for anybody because those people hit you over the head with bottle. They will hit you over the head with a beer bottle. Trust me, I know this. I have positive proof about what they will do. And also, like when a Libra decides to get negative, you know what I've told you about that, but I'm only saying that this is a potential because that Libra reading was crazy and I'm getting it blending through, even though I took time to go sing and dance and move the energy away from me. So the secret affair is getting me here that this crazy person, somebody's a crazy person, somebody was having an affair either on you or, like I said, insert whoever it is here, you will know. But somebody was having an affair. They were trying to keep it secret. Maybe they were trying to make peace with you, make nice with you, get close to you while having an affair because their head is in the clouds and, they somehow think maybe they yeah, you live in the city but dream of working on a rice paddy. Okay, so I don't know what to say. We're going to leave that right here. I'm going to see just if anything else pops out, but I think that this is going to be easily dismissed. This energy feels very like out of the way, out of the world, gone away from you. Hang on. Not sure what that was. Molecular data. Molecular data. What is that? Am I just hearing that in my head? What is that? Oh, okay. Just for you, Scorpio. Just for you, Scorpio. The star spin circles around the bad times. You splashed your water on my fire sign, right? The fortune teller told us to unwind. Well, somebody's fortune teller wasn't telling right. Okay, so somebody went to a fortune teller. Somebody, I don't know what the fortune teller has to do with molecular data unless this is something ancestral. Somebody studying protein. Somebody could be a medical doctor. Something could be significant about data storage, metadata, molecular data. Somebody's a freaking scientist. Molecular data, DNA, ancestry. Metadata, data storage. Ancestry studies. I don't know where I'm getting this. We'll see if it goes anywhere. Okay, so back to... Oh, see, no, Scorpio, say no. Scorpio, don't do it. Okay, putting my robe back on and putting this person's robe back on. Don't do it. Okay, because back together. Most Scorpios are going to say hard pass, no hard feelings, just a hard pass. Okay, so back together, the honeymoon round 2 has begun, but the real tea is in how long it will last. So maybe somebody that you were with before went to somebody that they were with before, and this round 2 is blowing up in their face because at Rice Paddy, Fantasy World, Up in the Clouds, Secret Affair, and ghetto superhero. I'm not sure what that is, but isn't that what that looks like to you? It's like, ta-da, boom. I mean, like, I don't know. Doesn't that remind you of like the Mercedes? Like it's like that, like somebody who drives a Mercedes and it's got that gigantic dinner plate size emblem. Isn't this like too much? This person's like, if I just wear this like a Superman badge, everybody will know that I'm a peaceful person. Bullshit. Okay, somebody's lying. We're going to look at these because only for you. Only you. Okay, so we've got a situationship with 4 arrows through this. Yeah, too many people. I'm just doing this for fun because we're here and we're going to let this energy go. We've got the 3rd wheel. What do you want to know? And these are the ones that just fell out. I didn't even have a chance to really think on it. And invite only. Let's read this because I've never gotten it before. The real action isn't happening in public. Behind the scenes, the inner circle's already been chosen. Uh-oh. Please don't tell me that we've got some, coven people, the brotherhood people, the people that are involved in the secret societies, the people that know what that big old owl is, and you know what I'm talking about. These are the people that would know exactly what's under this building, that building, and how to get from one building to, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's let this energy go because I'm not interested in delving deeper. I mean, like if I get an inclination of more of what this is, I'm going to let you know, okay? So I'm almost tempted to pull out the Bible here. I'm going to We'll be ready in case something happens. We're going to ward this whole thing off. The beach is significant to somebody. Maybe you're a sailor. Maybe you like sailing. This always, I have it up here because it reminds me of my daddy because, my dad and our family, we went fishing every weekend and the ocean is very significant to me. Seashells could be significant. The Seychelles could be significant to you. Somebody likes islands. Somebody's island hopping. Somebody knows people from the Virgin Islands, and so do I. Very, very dear friend, pilot friend, grew up with this person. He's no longer here in this realm. Love you, Daryl. All right, so let's see. Oh my gosh. No, Rita, don't touch it. Touch it. Somebody is saying not to touch it. Don't touch me either. Okay, so we have got to move on to a deck to get let's do the romance angels because this is a romance reading and it's just some of that Libra reading bleeding through. I'm telling you, I really do like Libra. It's just, I'm not going to say anything else. I have a son who's a Libra. He's great, but he's also an Aries rising, which, when they're younger, that can cause a whole lot of problems, but as they get older, they're fantastic, because that Aries fire, as they get older, tends to calm them down. Like if you got double air in there, it's like, woohoo, somebody's just going to be in outer space or constantly gossiping or talking. I'm telling you that's a bleed. Oh, very good. So we've got chemistry. What was it? What did you? I can't sometimes. What did I tell you? I was just talking about molecular data. We get the chemistry card. Okay, so not everybody's a scientist. Not everybody wants to be a scientist. Look, maybe you want to be the scientist. All right, so chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Scorpio, this is going to be new energy for you or a deepening of an existing bond that is healthy. We will see how things go as we move along, but I was telling you that I was getting something about molecular data. Okay, so it's making me think about what? I don't know. Maybe somebody is really a scientist. Phytogenics are so significant to somebody? Phytogenics? Data markers. So the initials A as in apple, T as in Tom, C as in cat, G as in George could be significant. Phytogenics. Protein data. DNA, like long-term archivals. Somebody could be historian. Okay, so what's this all about? Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay, so we got some chemistry that could involve bringing families together, which could be healing. There's some of you that could be returning to somebody that you actually have children with or have had a family with. Okay, so let's see what else is coming through. Ancestry, data markers, molecular data. So cytogenics, somebody studying diseases. Somebody could be a medical doctor. Somebody's a medical doctor. What else would you be? Well, somebody could actually work in forensics with the same kind of profile. Something that's ancestry related, DNA related, RNA related. Long-term archival. Okay, so long-term archival is making me think about this is a situation where you could be coming back together with or blending with somebody that you either have a past life. Okay, molecular data, archivals, or somebody that you have a past life with or somebody that you have a history with of some kind here. But it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like a bad history. Ancestry related. It could be somebody that you know in your family. Somebody that you know in your family. Let me tell you something that happened with that person. They could either be your ex-husband, somebody ex in your past. You know that their family, not to delve too far into the past, their family had something to do with this because it wasn't their family. If it wasn't their family that was interfering with this, and if it wasn't your family, it could have been a coworker that they were having some kind of a relationship. Somehow they were still messing around with a coworker, or, they could know each other like from state to state to state or for country to country, like moving locations. Think long distance archival, think long distance far away, storage far away. Somebody could be in multiple locations at once, but family could have gotten involved. This person also could have been introduced to somebody that they ended up with that they're having problems with now that isn't you because this is somebody that either a boss or some kind of a faction group of people. But doesn't this look like it looks like, here there was chemistry with you, and then look at these people that are interfering. Why am I getting that? Because by now, Scorpio, you don't care. And if you're hung up on something from the past, you need to let this go. Let's look at this a little bit more. Maybe you can't let it go because somebody else is energetically keeping you from letting it go. But remember, you're the one in control. Let me go Shaolin monk on you. Somebody's a Shaolin monk. Where did I put that thing? Okay, so let's just get a little bit of a hint in what you need to know if you are from a group of you who've not been able to move forward, move on. Doesn't mean that you have to get into another relationship with anybody. And I suggest you don't. If you're recently coming out of a situation like this, do not go into another relationship too quickly. I understand that it would feel good to have a kiss and a hug, but it's much, much better to wrap your arms around yourself and kiss yourself in the mirror because you need time to get this kind of nasty energy away from you. A rebound never helps. You always see the majority of the time, if not, I'm going to tell you 99.99999% of the time when people are in a relationship and they immediately rebound to somebody else, whether that person is from their past or it's a new person, but they very quickly jumped into a relationship with that person, it does fail. It doth fail, okay? Somebody speaks Gaelic. Oh, gosh, what is this? I could start a fight with this one. Scottish or Irish? Scottish or Irish? Scottish or Irish? Scottish or Irish? I don't know. How about a nice cup of Baileys? Okay, somebody's going to know what that means when I say that. Do you love me? Could you learn to love me? You know what that is. If you know what that is, you're my people. I'm old Greg. Somebody that you were in a relationship is either Greg or was old or is old, and it's like an old fart. You don't want it. Okay, if you're going to be old, you better be hot. And I'm telling you, you better know how to move that thing. You better move that thing. Okay, so we've got to. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from. They won't know where it came from. Look, you're from outer space, and so am I. Okay, divine timing is perfect. Molecular data, archival type. Because the issue with okay, so let's think about why the hell would I be getting anything about molecular data? Okay, molecular data while I'm trying to channel my inner Shaolin monk. Somebody's a Shaolin monk. I don't know, okay. Just flow. Why molecular data? Why would we need to know this? Holy Spirit, why do I need to know about molecular data? Why would I need to know about data markers? Somebody could be a forensic analyst. Somebody could be in charge of some very complicated systems. Why Scotland? Why Ireland? Why does it matter? Somebody speaks Gaelic. Somebody's from way far away. Okay, so we've got, I give myself permission to feel good about money. Scorpio, I think that belongs over here with healing family issues and the fact that there could be somebody in your past, maybe somebody's family in the past, they were all about that money. Maybe somebody ended up with like some bastard douchebag or some wench because of money, not because of happiness. And that's why people like that, like I get Papa as a rolling stone, like some people that just can't settle down. They don't know how to settle down. They think that settling down is one thing or another. But if you go back to this person, you are settling, Scorpio. Trust me when I tell you this, because the person that would be in line for you next, you'll see the cards will prove it. It will always prove it because I'm telling you, and I can tell you this from experience, that it will put the other person to shame. You will see why the universe went bloop and took you right out of the way. Okay, so what is it? Why DNA? Why DNA? Why RNA? Why ancestry? It'd be easy for me to say that there's something going on with somebody's paternity, but I think that might be like a bleed through from the Libra reading, even though I tried to shake that off. Shake it, groove thing, yeah. All right, so massive amounts of digital information. Okay, let me think. Because massive amounts of digital information would make me think about, long-term archival. If you're going to use the structure that would be influenced from the structure of molecular data, then we'd be talking about some kind of digitals, like the need for massive amounts of digital storage, for long-term digital storage. Who the hell Who am I talking to? Why do you do this, or what do you need to do about this? This could be underwater. I don't know. This doesn't seem like data center. This seems a lot different. Somebody could be some kind do some kind of job related to this, but let's go back to DNA and density and why I would be getting this and why does it have to be about phytogenics? Why phytogenics and why disease? And it could be that you're about to meet a doctor, you're having a relationship with a doctor, somebody really loves you and they want to go open your mouth and say, stick out your tongue. Okay, it could be like that. All right, let's see. Divine timing is perfect. Almost sounded like I wanted to say Heimlich. Somebody's name. I'm gonna have to say something. My second husband used to say the funniest thing. He didn't call it Heimlich. He called it the Heiny lick. Let's just stop right there. Okay, so I give myself permission to nurture and take care of myself. Do you see the dichotomy here? I think that you know how to take care of yourself. You don't need anybody to be out there, like, look, you don't need anybody to pay your way and you don't want anybody to do anything for you that's going to make you feel like you owe them or they've got you trapped, in a bird cage somewhere. Take me away, release me from the cage. That song, that's what I'm getting. I've been getting that for a little bit now. Okay, I also choose connection, compassion, and clarity in my relationships. Absolutely. Okay, so let's stop with Shaolin Monk right there because I get it. All right, so what's going on is like, let's let this be the remnant that's just kind of out there. Like if I had a lighter, I'd go kind of just see if we could cauterize this. Somebody could definitely be involved with a doctor, medical doctor, some kind of a doctor, maybe some kind of a plastic surgeon, somebody that makes changes, somebody who might be, maybe this is a facial reconstruction type of doctor. But there's chemistry and there's healing. Okay, the past, I think that was just a little bit of information that came through because I was still picking up too much on that Libra reading. And it doesn't have anything to do with, not having cleansed any space or done anything like that because I always do. It's like, look, I even, just in case it got stupid, I was already armed with the word. Okay, we're going to use the Bible if this gets out of control. All right, let me move this right over here because we're going to move right along. Where are we going with this? I think that we are going to. Oh, okay. So I haven't used this in a few readings now. So let's go to the Hanson Roberts Tarot. So I really like this art because Mary Hanson Roberts' beautiful pencil sketches, which are also present in the Whimsical Tarot, which is geared toward children, basically, where it's just lighter pencil sketching and the artwork is not so severe. And I'm really feeling like your energy is very light. So whatever's going on has nothing really to do with you. Now, if you're in the beginning of really working on yourself after some kind of a breakup or something, make sure it's not a breakup to make up. Like make sure that thing is severed, cauterized, get rid of it, make it go away. That doesn't mean that you don't do your shadow work because Scorpio, I think that there's a lot of you that were dealing with somebody that didn't want to do the shadow work, didn't want to look within, if you will. Sometimes we get wrapped up in relationships with people that they're with us and we didn't even know that we were the rebound. And then they go trying to have a relationship with us, but they're still like kind of fucked up in the head. So you don't want to have a relationship with somebody who isn't well. Don't have a relationship with somebody in the very least. Look, I'm not saying that all relationships that start off like that are doomed, but the problem is it's very hard to get two people at the same time. Okay, your ex could be married and it's not going to last very long because it's the Wheel of Fortune upright in this case would indicate cycles. Okay, so if your ex is married, there's going to be something going on with that. And that's if it isn't over already and they're going to try to come back and marry you. And I'm going to tell you, say no, but I'm not going to tell you what to do, right? Okay, so remember that it's hard to get two people that are on the same page. It's like what I tell people. If you've got little kids, then go be with somebody who's got little kids. All right. It just makes everything work a lot easier in a normal and typical situation as long as everybody's healthy. Okay. It changes the dynamic a lot of the time if one person has children already and the other person does not. I have lots of conversations about this with West. And if you both don't have children, that's great. If both of you don't ever want to have children, that's good. But I've also seen it where people get married, even one convinces the other that, it's better to never have children. And then all of a sudden one has a health issue, like what happened to a friend of mine. And she was told, hey, look, if you're ever going to have kids, you better have them now. And she had already convinced her brand new husband, we were very young at the time, that she wanted to have children. And now she brainwashed, the guy who, he was a simple guy. We were all kids, okay? We were young people. All right, let's see. Where are we going with this? So we've clarified that there is passion in the air. I feel it. Doesn't feel bad. We've seen, like I said, now don't think that look at news is coming. Somebody's going to be coming in to offer you something, to propose something to you. This could be about a job. It doesn't have to be all about romance or exes in these readings because we're talking about seventh houses. You are the first house, they are the seventh house, and so is everybody else that you are dealing with. Okay, so almost, but no cigars. Somebody smokes cigars? Well, what do you know? Okay. I'm Cuban, so my favorite is going to be a Cuban cigar. All right, Holy Spirit, what do we have for the current situation? How are we opening with this situation? I feel good about this. Scorpio, if I've got clients that tell me they always pay attention to what I tell them because not only is it what's actually happening, but also there are these bits of wisdom in there that are like little Easter eggs in what I tell them. So if I could promise you something, if you will just let this go, that means having to do the work of detaching, even if you feel like you have to take, a spiritual bath every day, if you have to do some kind of cord cutting session every day, if you just feel like you've got to run 3 miles a day, if you feel like you have to fast 2 times, whatever you have to do is what I'm saying, okay? Okay, so some of you are having difficulty with this. We've got the 9 of Swords. All right, sweetheart, let's see what's going on. Some of you can't let this go, or this is somebody else in your energy. We're going to see people cards are going to be what we're looking for. I saw the Emperor there. I don't know if you saw that. I changed the orientation of the camera for some of these readings to kind of like ensure that if accidentally there's a little bit of this cartoon nudity on these cards, that that the uh, algorithm doesn't pick it up as quickly, and also so that you can get a little I mean, you can't see entirely where I live now, and that's for a reason. All right, let's see. Keep yourself private. Make sure that everybody just stays out of your world, and, even if you have to let other people protect you, okay? That like, there are people that know where I am, and there were people that will never know where I am again. All right, let's see. You gotta shut those doors and let it go, like, when you know that somebody's just damaged goods and what's wrong with them is not something within your pay grade, and really, you don't need to get into a relationship with somebody that needs that much fixing, especially if they're not capable of helping themselves. Going to get help from somebody else is good until going to get help and remaining in that state is a habit, right? It's kind of like therapy. The goal of therapy is to not have to be in therapy. And in my opinion, a good therapist is not going to keep you very long before they're going to move you along to somebody else for maybe some other work, okay, for some diagnostics. The goal of therapy is not to be in therapy. Do you hear me? All right. So why are you in the 9 of Swords when I feel so good about this? So maybe it's somebody else we're going to see? And again, if I start to channel too quickly, yes, you've had the Strength card and something is changing quickly here. If I speak too quickly here, somebody has a title, there's a title card. Feel free to click the gear icon. By now, you should know how to do that to slow the speed of the video, okay? And if you're interested in booking a personal coaching session and astrology reading, some kind of a pre-recorded tarot card reading, or if you'd like a live tarot card reading with me done over the phone, of course, visit me at ritayanez.com. You can also visit me at ritayanez.as.me. ritayanezcoaching.as.me. You'll find all the links everywhere. You know how to find links, right? Okay, sure you do. Somebody has sneaky links. Maybe they're crying over you because your energy does not feel heavy. Of course, I'm recording a video and putting it out there for like an enormous collective. So I can't possibly know. I'm only going to know the story that the cards are telling me. What's up? What's the challenge with this 9 of Swords? Somebody who's like literally losing sleep at night. And I get 2 cards. So I've got the Sagittarius card. You could be dealing with Sagittarius. There's the Temperance Angel. Somebody is unbalanced. What am I telling you? Somebody's unbalanced and is either needs to get some professional help, or they're getting professional help, and that's a challenge. This could also be you. that you need to get some professional help if you're still in this space or you're still struggling. Okay, that's doesn't mean anything bad. In fact, it means it's quite good. Like if you are in that space, I really can't tell if this is you or somebody else. Now we have the Chariot card. Okay, so there's something here about moving forward in the foundation. You have been moving forward. That's why it could be that it's not you. We've also got two major arcana cards, which are letting me know that there's divine timing at play. We did see that with one of the cue cards. This is divine timing. This is astrology. So astrological and or astronomical events could be of significance. And we have been having solar flare type activity. All right, let's see. I can't remember what it is that's up right now because I'm so stuck right now on whatever this molecular data is. And then here we have came out as a challenge, the 5 of cups. So if you're having difficulty healing, if you haven't got to that stage where you could laugh again, where you feel like, this is becoming more and more of a distant memory and you've learned to just kind of like let people go and let them do whatever they do as long as they don't do it around you. We've got the 5 of cups. So this could indicate in the recent past that you have been getting closer and closer to that healing. Or it could mean, because I was taking it as a challenge there, that you're challenged by that, or you are still having some difficulty with it, but it is in the past. So that should be pretty obvious, right? That that's fading away. It's getting, it's impossible for me to say that there's a magic pill or there's a magic button that I could push, or, that if I scratch it just behind your right ear, that you're going to feel better about this in the morning. Okay. You know, Putting the lime in the coconut isn't going to help you either. All right, let's see what's going on with the crowning influence for Scorpio. There we go. And as a challenge, again, sideways, we have the Fool. So there's definitely some of you are having difficulty moving forward. Of course, so Scorpio is a fixed sign. So being a fixed sign makes it, even though it's water, it's fixed water, makes it difficult to move on. And Pluto, your ancient ruler, has changed signs. So, look up your astrology and take a peek and see where Pluto is in your natal chart and where it is. By transiting astrology, I'm going to take them both. This 3 of Wands fell over here on that Chariot upright, so I'm going to leave it there. It was in reverse, so not seeing your moving forward while not knowing where you're going or what's coming towards you. And then we have another 3 here that comes up in the near future, and this near future is the one that's very quickly here. That's people working together. It could be that some of you are starting a new job, a new apprenticeship. It could be that you're just working on even if you're self-employed or you've got your own business or you're just learning a new trade or you're very young and you're, going to, college and you're in this situation, this is an indication that you're starting to understand that you need to put the work right into yourself or into your health because the Pentacles, it's not just wealth, it's about health and everything on the physical and the material. All right, so let's going on here in the current environment. Somebody's name is Teddy. Teddy. Okay, so I've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, so it again, I'm getting this feeling like this is something that you're blocking or is being blocked from you. The Knight of Wands in reverse is not taking action. It could be that you are needing to take an action that you're not taking, that it could be someone else is not taking that action, or you are blocking yourself off by working and focusing really hard on other things that you don't have time to take this action. But the Knight of Wands, it could indicate also that you're abstaining from sexual intimacy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You will not die, I promise you. It will actually make you stronger. Everybody knows about this. Athletes have always known that, to kind of reserve their strength, and it really isn't about reserving the strength, but it really is about focus to not get so drained and so relaxed, by having sexual intimacy. This is, maybe it's old school. All right, so it could be that you're abstaining from intimacy or saying no, rejecting, offers. Please remember that monogamy is your gift, and Scorpio, unlike what people think, I always tell people, I won't get into why I say that there's a particular sign that is like the biggest whore of the Zodiac, if you wanted to put it that way, but it's not going to be Scorpio. Scorpios just gets that unfair, I'm a Scorpio sun, Scorpio will get that unfair idea. People get this idea about Scorpio only because we're so damn sexy and you know it. Okay, so just because we come across a certain way or we look a certain way, it's just usually haters gotta hate something. So they're going to say that it's because you're sexy and everybody wants you. And it isn't. Scorpio will go years and years and years without having any kind of, I was going to say invasive relationship. Somebody needs to buy an invasive species sticker for their vessel. You can get those, usually over at your local sports places where you get a fishing license. Like if somebody's like, I don't know where to get this invasive species. Somebody's an invasive species. I'm telling you, that's why you don't want to sleep with people that you don't know because they may have an invasive species. Okay. So here, surrounding environment, most definitely. A lot of you are focusing on your work and on what it is that you're doing, your schooling, your apprenticeship, your new job, making that money for yourself and be proud of yourself. If you're like, "Well, I can't really be too proud of it. I work at a grocery store." What are you talking about? That's excellent. If I could walk down the road and go get a job at the grocery store to go have a different experience, have some fun, and make a little extra money, I'm gonna do it. All right, I've done a lot of different jobs. I love the environment, uh, full of people. I love to be around different people. I love to meet different people, and I love to do different tasks. All right, let's see. So, what are your hopes and fears here? Holy Spirit, let us know what's going on because this reading is going, believe it or not, very smooth. Once we got past that speed bump, somebody's a speed bump. Somebody is just like, somebody is a happiness hater. The person that's hating on you. If you've got the situation, I don't want to delve too much into that because we're going to start to pull that energy back in. But look, if, they say the enemy of your enemy is your friend, don't get in that. Don't get involved in that. Don't talk to any of these people. If your ex's ex contacts you again or contacts you ever or any of these people from your past come, a knocking, like pick up the phone and call the police. I mean, just don't. What I'm saying is there needs to be a complete closure here because there's too much karmic energy that's flowing from behind you with Libra being the sign just behind you and then bleeding over into this reading. And just believe me when I tell you this. All right. So, what's your hopes and fears here? Anything that you're intimidated of or that you're extremely hopeful for? Yep. We've got the Page of Swords here, a little bit on guard. It could be that, you're quite aware that some people have, I was going to say blasphemed, but there are people that could have been speaking entirely poorly of you, or like I was saying things about you that weren't true. That's fine. Let them be stupid. Why do you think I don't worry about what anybody says about me? Because I know whether it's true or not. So what does it matter to me if somebody's moronic and maybe has two neurons is going to say something negative about me? Okay, it doesn't matter. What's anybody going to say about me? Because then I can say, well, if you knew me, if you don't know me by now, you will never, ever, ever know me. Okay, so we've got the Two of Wands out here. So for the outcome, okay, the outcome, Two of Wands, you've got a whole lot to look forward to, and you're even just in the beginning stages, and you've got basically the world is your oyster. You've got the whole world in your hands. You need to let that sun set on the past, whatever it is. I'm so sorry to see that Nine of Swords there. With cards like this, I'm gonna get the idea that somebody's really projecting onto you. It doesn't have to be as woo-woo as you think. People can just concentrate a whole lot of energy on you because you're hot. And you know it. All right, let's see. What is the summary for this reading? Looking pretty good here, Scorpio. It looks like for February, you just need to let the year of the snake take with it all of the nasty people that you've ever had to deal with before. Somebody could be born in the year of the snake. I'm also getting the year of the dog, but it wasn't a good dog. It was a bad dog. All right, so the summary is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So you have to remember that it's not about the money. It's about protecting yourself. It's okay to be single and not worry about being married. Eh, I'm not going to say that people who like to get married and married many times, that there's anything wrong with what they're doing, but sometimes it becomes a little bit suspect. Like, what is the purpose of this if you're not Elizabeth Taylor, or you know what I mean? What is going on with this? But the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, could indicate that you have been dealing with somebody who was very materialistic, somebody who was like all about the money, all about the Benjamins, all about the Bens. I've got to have this house, I've got to have all this money in the bank, I've got to have all of these things, okay? And it could be indicating also, since this is very, very much targeted on you, it could be that you've just released any and all attachment to finances to the point where you need to actually put more effort into getting some of those finances so you could do more of the things that you like and have more of the things that you need, because the good Lord in heaven did not suggest that anybody on his beautiful planet go without. Okay, those things are caused by things that cannot be controlled, in different ways. People that are prisoners in their own countries, people that can't leave their countries, people that can't escape their poverty because, there are things that, maybe we're never going to understand until we go home, until we get to talk to him. But he certainly didn't want you to be left out in the cold without any way to take care of yourself, to feed yourself, to clothe yourself. And this is also indicating that you don't have to be a married person. You don't need to rely on another person. Queen of Pentacles in reverse could indicate a single person, a single woman, or a single mother. All right, let's see. I feel like I want to do one more quick pass just to see if there's anything else coming up because there's a whole lot of releasing here that has taken place. And it looks like there is a little bit more that you could do for some of you. Because the challenge is moving past a broken heart. It is in the reverse, so I'm going to keep it in that orientation. Well, I shouldn't say that that's a challenge, but it was challenging. So why is it difficult for some of the Scorpions to heal from this? Or maybe a lot of you are just actively healing. I promise you in the year the horse are going to feel a whole lot better in that year. We'll switch on the 17th here. What is the challenge to this healing of the heart? And it could be that some of you have actually undergone some kind of surgery. Okay, this could be surgery. It could be heart-related surgery, but it doesn't have to be that literal. It could just be something that has to do with the circulatory system because, of course, the heart. Somebody could have changed the fuel pump in their car if we thought about it a little bit much here with that Chariot card. What is the challenge to this healing? We've got the Six of Swords. So the challenge is that you've already moved away and you've already left it behind you. You've already gone across the great water and you have left this, but it's all about, I think that the sadness and the healing is, there's no other way for the cards to show it other than to show me that Three of Swords in reverse, that you are healed by going away from a very great heartache. Nine of Wands in the upright position lets me know that you still have a tendency to feel a little bit too guarded. Let's see if there's any reason why you should feel guarded. Yeah, well, in the past, there were a lot of people coming at you. A lot of people, Five of Wands could be a coven of bitches and witches and hoes. Okay, so there could have been some people causing a whole lot of trouble. This could be gossiping. This is very backbiting. This is very petty. This doesn't have to be about the relationship itself. This just could be people that involve themselves too much. Just people talking shit. Maybe you were having a relationship with somebody who didn't know how to keep his fucking mouth shut and involved everybody and his brother. Okay, so his or her. All right, so what's in the crowning area here to make sure that you are moving along in this trajectory? Absolutely. Okay, now this card, I don't know if you saw that I wanted to spin, but we do have the Death card. This is over. This is a cycle that is over, so I don't care if you have to bathe yourself in Wesson vegetable oil, okay? You need to just develop a nice slickery skin so that anybody projecting anything at you, trying to reattach cords to you, it's not so woo-woo. A cord reattaching is, kind of like, hello, and somebody trying to give you a call. Don't answer the phone, change your number, just block everybody. You don't need to talk to people from your past again. Now, if you share children with this person and you have to see them once in a while, seeing them once in a while to exchange children and do the pleasantries and be there for a graduation doesn't mean that you have to have a relationship with them. In fact, the communications are different at that point. You're not discussing your relationship with anybody. I think somebody here was in a relationship with somebody who literally would discuss their relationship like a bitch, like a woman. If you were in a relationship with a man, this was a man that would discuss his relationship with everybody like a bitch. Sorry, I have to put it that way. Somebody will understand why I'm putting it that way. Okay, so let's see near future. Absolutely. Keep putting in the hard work. Keep investing in yourself because something new is coming. It's going to be financial. Okay, this is going to be a new start even in your physicality. If it isn't a new financial start, a new job or some endeavor, this is literally the seed that gets planted. This is also about your physicality and your health. Take care of your body, invest in your body as well. Do your walking, do your yoga, put on a YouTube video and shake your booty, shake your groove thing, get yourself moving, drink your water, feed the soil. All right, so we've got the Knight of Wands, and tell us about the current environment here. I think this was just giving us a little bit of a backstory for the majority of you who are moving forward, and especially if you're a little bit older, because remember the people that are a little bit younger, that they're still learning how to move through pain. Although I've met a lot of people who move through pain easier than people that I know that are my age. And I'm long in the tooth. Okay, so now we've got the moon in reverse. So there's a whole lot of illumination that could come in. Somebody wants to come in and tell you something. It could be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius wants to come in and kind of clear things up. But I'm telling you, this person's going to come in to tell you more lies. What do you want me to tell you? This person's coming in to tell you more lies. This person's full of shit. This person is an idiot. This is a person who's going to come in just to disrupt your peace and your happiness because you look like you're doing really well. Don't tell anybody about what you do. Don't tell anybody about your relationships. You don't need to share this information with anybody that would go in and give it to somebody who is like this son of a bitch that you have dealt with, because the Knight of Wands coming in reverse, an immature player coming in reverse with the moon in reverse. This is a biatch. This is somebody who's no good. Let them go pretend. G.I. Joe is significant. Somebody could be a G.I. Somebody's name could be Joe. Somebody had those G.I. Joes, with the fuzzy hair. I don't know why I'm getting G.I. Joe. G.I. Jane could be significant as well. And somebody from your past. See what I'm saying? 6 of Cups in reverse. Somebody keeps trying to reach in from the past. It's not just what it is. It's what it looks like on the outside. Like as if they could ever get you back. Well, look, if they ever come back in, you could just politely say, no, I think I've leveled up. I think that, what I want is a real man. Yes, because you've already called judgment on this. They may not like the judgment that you've called your person, this man or woman from the past, but you did. And this kind of judgment, having the judgment card in reverse, like this, they may be kicking and screaming with it with the 6 of Cups in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse, very randy freaking, this could even be, look what's on the bottom of the deck. Now you've got an Emperor that's coming in. This is not this person. This is not this person. Now, because I was about to say, and it did show up, but in the upright, that if an Emperor comes in, it's probably going to be an old-ass, aging, fading, fluffy, freaking overweight player who's going to try to see if they can get you back, and like as if their little Jedi mind tricks are going to work on you. No, they don't. Some of you live in places where it's going to be completely appropriate for you to say, yeah, no, bitch. I said that a whole lot in that Libra reading. There's something about you, and there's something about a Libra. You could have been with a Libra. Okay, but in the upright bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming is this is who's coming in. Male or female, of course, it's not the Empress card, but you know what to do with this. Okay, by now I don't have to tell you that. I'm not your mommy, although I feel like I'm talking to my children here. The children. All right, let's see what's in the hopes and fears here. I think we're looking at what this other person is projecting. They're pretending. It's like they're trying to make it look like it's all good on the outside, but it isn't. It's like somebody has that idea like, oh yeah, well, as long as this relationship looks good on Facebook, then it's good. No, you're miserable and I don't want to know about it. Who cares? Every time they contact you, you need to make sure that you are not replying. Don't even let them know, because they're going to come in lying. Scorpio, this person's not coming in to tell you the truth. And this is also the card that says no, and it's the Jesus said no card. Okay, how about that? Summary card for the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Pentacles reverse in this case could also indicate that this is a person, if this is a male, that your ex has a Queen of Pentacles in reverse, a very materialistic bitch who's married to, that could be, I don't know. Like, there's a whole lot of manipulation here, and I'm not going to make excuses for anybody. If it's your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend or your ex-wife or your ex-husband and this kind of energy is showing up, I want you to get out of this energy and invest in your beautiful, badass self and go take a fishing trip. It's enormous fun. Okay, so all right. Why? Because good news is coming into you. And what you may be finding out that your ex, if that's not the Empress in reverse, it could be that they're divorcing this person, or they're this person that is being divorced by somebody else. What is this news? Let's check a couple of things here. I'm going to see if I can get a few more cards. Are we at about an hour here? I never want them to go to an hour, but like there's so much information here, and I feel like while I have time to talk to you about this, that we should just go full on and I just let the cards talk until they're exhausted. Somebody's exhausted. I could be exhausted and you don't even know it. All right, let's see. What is up with that news? You're going to get some news about somebody losing some money, and it's going to be because of this Queen of Pentacles, or they are the Queen of Pentacles, or the Knight of Pentacles. But did you notice something about this reading? Listen, children, did you notice something about this reading? Okay, that there are no kings here. There are no kings here. There are no queens except for one in the reverse. Did you notice? Did you notice that, children? There are no kings or queens here. Of course not, because you weren't dealing with anybody who's mature. That's why. You weren't dealing with somebody who's mature. You're dealing with a clown. You were dealing with a loser. I'm sorry to put it this way. I think you need to hear it from somebody like me. We're dealing with a loser. We're dealing with somebody who didn't know what they had in their hands. It's like you could have a person, you could put a Herkimer diamond in their hands, but don't put it in a fancy package. Put it in a paper bag. instead of being curious about the diamond in the bag, you were dealing with the type of person that would take it, throw it in the trash, and say, "What is this piece of shit glass?" That's why you were the test, Scorpio. Okay? Some of us are born into this world knowing that we are, for the longest time, unaware of the litmus tests that we are walking around. And so often, we are called to be the lesson for people who have been too foolish for too long. And it reminds me of, Beauty and the Beast and what happens to the beast because he's cruel to the old woman who comes to the door asking for help. And you know that story, the last petal fell. All right, let's get some names just for fun, just because we can. Are these names or are these hints? Dang, wrong one. Hang on just a second. Oh, where are they? The sun will come out. Let's see. Is this it? Good. Okay, let's get some different ones here. All right. Okay, so these names are just confirmation, okay? This is just to have a little fun and, kind of serve as a connection. The names could be significant to you, but definitely you'll connect with the name if it's meant for you. Don't feel bad if your name does not come out or somebody's name does not come out here. It doesn't mean anything, okay? Oh, and I have to shuffle them kind of weird for obvious reasons. Sometimes I don't, actually shuffle them out on camera here because this is you have no idea how many of these there are everywhere here. Okay. All right, let's see. A labor of love from years of channeling sessions. Somebody doesn't like that you keep records or kept records. Maybe somebody doesn't like the fact that you're writing a book. Well, let's see. And they'll never be able to do anything to you about this because of the fact that, these are fictional works of art. Okay. Some of us that's what we do. We do art. All right. Let's see. Not everybody's writing a book. Nobody knows whether I'm writing a book or not. I'm usually writing other people's books for them or helping them. And I want to do something for myself. And actually, it's a project that has been started years and years ago. This Veronica is important to you. I know who that is for me, and that just popped up. So it could mean something for you. I know who Veronica is. God bless you, sweetheart. She's in heaven, so. All right, let's see which names we got here. We got Emerald. Oh, we've got the name Min. Somebody could be Korean, somebody could be Chinese. I suppose Jude. Bonita. Johnson. William. Wilson. Wilson! Okay, we've got Wilson. There's a castaway thing. Somebody's just been cast out of your realm. They thought they were casting you out. You cast them out. It's like nobody knows what a strong cutoff game is until Scorpio cuts you off. Okay, we've got Danville. Mandy. Oh, Mandy. You came and you gave without taking. Okay, Sunny. And I sent you away, oh, Mandy. Somebody sent you away and you're like, uh-huh. Desi? And you were like, you'll miss me when I'm gone. All right, Shiloh. And you went far away. Majid. And perhaps you sent somebody away. Claudia. And if you are the, why was I going to say Land Rover, Range Rover? I don't know, but that's rollover. Why am I getting that about that vehicle? Something about a vehicle, something about a Range Rover, something about a Land Rover. Range Rover. Land Rover. Woo. Okay, we've got Brown. We've got Jenny. We've got Zuri. We've got Virtue. We've got Barbara. Got a 2 here. Shanita. Anderson. Ned. Woo. Rachel. Josie. Demetrius. Reggie. Tian, Rajesh, Peterson, Aiden, Tasha. Let's see. Anybody else here? We've got Demi or Demi, Sandy, Auburn, Gary, Hilton, Rogers, Malachi. We've got Ibarra, Clarinda. I almost couldn't say that. I was going to say Clarissa, and you know it. Brault, Kavita, Matthews, Shauna, spelled Shona, Reese, Reese, Archibald, Cheryl, Nanette, Sequoia, Sophia, let's see, Deshawn, Cujo, okay, Fran, Christian, Gilmore, Ruby, Linda, Crystal. We have Lorraine, Patel, woo! Oh, that's fun to say. Mueller, Molly, Manjabat, Tamara, Lenny, Nefeli, Hat, Hatt, McBee, Clarity, and just a couple of more so I can wrap it up and actually start uploading this for you. Vegas, Juanito. Hola, Juanito, ¿cómo está, Tito? All right. Amalia, Michael, Lance, Hernie, Molly, Gordon, Hans, Mason, Mykola, spelled this way, they're channeled this way, so just know. Angela, Malika, Maurice, and Dante. Before we go full Dante's Infernal, take good care, you guys. Just know you need to let these things go. You need to work on continuing to release these people. You need to take it very serious about not letting people like this back into your life. If this resonates with you at all, with somebody who could cause you this much pain, this much sorrow, Ace of Swords in reverse, somebody who lied to you, somebody who just didn't, it doesn't have to mean that they're a horrible, terrible person. I don't know them. I mean, I could meet them and tell you, what I think of them. But if there's somebody that could put you in so much sorrow and so much pain that they're okay with, letting you deal with a Knight of Swords and, so much indication there about literally being left out, exposed in the open in some way. I mean, maybe somebody literally did something that put you at physical risk or actually did affect your health in some way. And it could be in so many ways, because we did have that little symptom of some kind of cardiovascular or vascular disease. Somebody could have literally caused you so much upset that it caused you some problems, with your health permanently. I'm going to tell you that nobody's worth it. Nobody like that is worth it. I know I can't convince you of anything, and I can't really opine on a situation much more than I can in some general sense, right? But I can guarantee you that if you can just get past this, that the person who will come next, the person who's actually going to be there for you, is going to be everything that you want. Just allow Jesus to help you, insert deity here, whatever your faith is. But you need to go to the highest power. Ask St. Michael to continue to protect you if you're asking for help. If you're not, you need to talk to St. Michael and ask him to get people like this out of your life and to make sure they never come near you again, because what you deserve is definitely not this. Take good care, sweetheart. Love you guys.